Hey Brian, what are your thoughts on finding a potential wing on the buyout market? What about playing Brogdon or Smart more at the two guards? Carlo Brad Stevens made it clear last night upon meeting with the media that this is an area the team will be looking at. I think the most realistic scenarios for targeting buyout guys in that spot is Danny Green and Terrence Ross. Both are veterans who have already made some decent money in this and could be lured at the best chance for a ring rather than a bigger opportunity elsewhere. Will Barton is also a name that will be floated, but whether he's willing to take a reduced role is a question since he's been a guy throughout his career who likes to get shots up. The good news for Boston is that their disabled player exception, $3.2 million, for Danilo Gallinari will allow them to sweeten any signing for these guys compared to other contenders with minimum money to offer. It's probably not going to be the deciding factor, but it can't hurt. But first, if you are new to the Celtics news channel, take advantage and subscribe so you don't miss the latest news that happens in the world of basketball. We are always bringing you firsthand here. Enjoy and like this video so that YouTube continues to bring you the latest Celtics news in the world of basketball. In the meantime, the addition of Mike Muscala will allow Boston to play with double bigs even more, and that should push Malcolm Brogdon to shooting guard more once Marcus Smart comes back to the bench. Joe Mazzulla will have plenty of options of how he wants to play every night, and that should be a valuable tool for the playoffs. Lot of talk last year about how tightening the rotation was a great thing for the Celtics. Do you think they should move towards rotating 1 to 2 more guys a night this year, or is this just while Brown is out? Jacob, we saw the first shades of this on Friday night from Joe Mazzulla as he willing went 10 deep into his bench, a rarity this year. Injuries may have led to some of that, and Jason Tatum still played big minutes, 38, but I think the rotation among bigs especially should be in place the rest of the way. Robert Williams and Al Horford should not be playing over 25 to 30 minutes in these regular season games with a solid collection of alternatives between them and Grant Williams, Mike Muscala, Luke Kornet, Blake Griffin. Hi Brian, big fan of your columns. Celtics fan have been pining for a Kemba, or even it, reunion for a while. Do you think we have a real shot of seeing Kemba back in green as the last guard off the bench? Gabe, I don't see that happening at this point. Sadly, the NBA playing days for both guys may be done now due to their injuries. The Celtics will look to fill that hole with some size at the wing in all likelihood. Hi Rob, I like where the CS are at, obviously being first in the East and looking extremely well-rounded overall as a team. My question for you, is it just me, or is Joe Mazzulla allergic to calling timeouts, or does he just have more faith in his players than his abilities to draw up X and O's? I've seen time and time again, especially in games where the Celtics lose, where he lets other teams go on big runs and refuses to call timeout until the momentum is completely shifted to the opposing team. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. PS, I think he's doing a great job as a first-time head coach, but if he continues to let these big runs happen, I can see a big disaster waiting to happen which could possibly affect a playoff series. Thank you, Mateo. Timeout talk involving Joe Mazzulla has been a hot topic of conversation all year, and he's talked a bit about the philosophy behind it. Ultimately, the rationale behind it, I think it's something you hit on in terms of trusting the players and wanting to let them learn through their mistakes. In all honesty, I like the philosophy for this group since they've struggled through crunch time situations earlier in their careers, and learning through those choppy waters in the regular season should only help in the postseason. There are certainly times this season where Mazzulla has gone overboard with this philosophy in late-game moments, failing to call timeouts in key moments that would have been highly beneficial to the team. Raptors win, shorthanded Heat loss. Ultimately, he'll likely learn from those mistakes too, and his 8-0s have been superb when he's called them on many occasions, so trusting himself in those spots will be big to have this group reach its max potential. Hi, Brian, wondering if you make anything out of the Celtics signing of Tony Snell to their main Celtics roster. He was a decent shooter in his heyday, and at 6'2" with a 72 wingspan his defense was better than Average's 6'2". I suppose they're taking a flyer on him to see if there's anything left in the tank. Matthew, Rockport, me at this point, he's probably one of several options the Celtics are looking at to fill the final roster spot. Going to play for Maine was likely him looking to get back on NBA's team's radar after sitting out the season. His numbers aren't anything special early, 9.8 points, 3.8 rebounds during his first 5 games up there, but he is knocking down threes and has size like you said. If more appealing names on the buyout market go elsewhere, he's a veteran that could be an option. The Celtics may be better off investing in someone younger at that point, though, who could develop over the long term on a long-term deal.